Is now a good time to buy real estate? I get asked that question all the time. I'm Dustin Owens with Mantle Realty, and I'm here to help you figure out whether it's a good time or a terrible time for you to buy your own property. Let's dig in. First off, everybody's situation is completely different, and you need to be prepared for your own situation. So what somebody else is going through might not be great for you. Whether it's location, price point, financing, all those things can matter and will matter if it's a good time for you to buy. So first up, interest rates. Well, we all know that interest rates are fluctuating up and down, and it depends on what the Fed does of whether our interest rates go up. In 2024, we've had a little bit of a shock for a lot of people of what their monthly payments will be. This is due to the interest rates going up percent and a half, and even 2% at some points. So it's been changing their mortgage payment greatly. So I would say that the interest rate roller coaster is a big deterrent for a lot of people, but we've been in a situation where we've gotten a little spoiled. For example, a couple years ago, whenever you got 3% interest rates and your payments are really low, well, that's a great time to buy, right? Well, yes and no, because on the other end, supply and demand was really tough for buyers during that time frame when it was really low interest rates. So what do I mean by that? Well, right now we're going into the spring market here in North Carolina, and we sell a lot more properties in the spring and the summertime than we do in the fall and the winter. It's just, the dreariness, blah. Nobody wants to go see properties in the actual rain and snow and cold weather and everything else. So people want to go out whenever all the plants are blooming, grass is green, and your property looks great, and not whenever it's just blue. So right now, there is going to be a lot more inventory that's going to be coming on the market right now. So on that end of things, it makes it better for you right now to actually buy a property because the supply is going up, which means that it's being a little bit more competitive for sellers. So they're either going to have to give you money, lower the price, or do repairs, stuff that they weren't doing a couple years ago. So even though interest rates are a little bit higher, the contingencies and the prices might be staying steady or going down. You're not putting huge down payments down or going way over asking an appraisal price. So on that sense, it could be a great time for you to actually buy a piece of real estate right now. Another question you need to ask is, where are you at with your personal finances when you're trying to figure out if now is a great time to buy a property? So what do I mean by that? Well, whenever you become a homeowner, it's not like renting where you can go and call your landlord and say, hey, my hot water heater doesn't work or my AC's out. You need to be able to have a nest egg of money sitting back in case the oh crap moments happen on your property, because they will. Whether it's termites or just wear and tear, things are going to go wrong on your property because it's your property and not somebody else's. You're going to be in charge of that. That being said, you want to make sure that you are taking enough money and putting it aside that you have that nest egg, and that your mortgage payments isn't going to just cripple you where you're on the Dave and Ramsey's show eating beans and rice and beans because you're house poor. Sometimes you can go and buy way too much property for yourself and be overwhelmed, whether it's you buy a fixer-upper and you don't have enough cash because you underestimated how much it costs to repair, or catastrophic errors happening on your houses. We see it all the time. That being said, your personal finances are a big deal. Other things that you might want to consider is if you have enough money for your down payment so you don't have mortgage insurance. What's mortgage insurance? Well, mortgage insurance is pretty much the mortgage company saying, hey, we want an insurance policy on you because we don't know if you're going to make your payments. And if you don't, we have this insurance policy that's going to cover us on any losses that we might have from this. But hey, Mr. Buyer, you're the one that's going to pay for this mortgage insurance. So it's just an added fee that's on there until you get enough equity in the property, then you can refinance and get the mortgage insurance taken off. So a couple $100 every single month. But if you had that much down payment money, you wouldn't have to have mortgage insurance. So something else for you to think about right there is, hey, do I want to wait until I don't have to worry about mortgage insurance, or do I want to just go ahead and buy it right now and then refinance later, which is probably what you're going to do with the interest rates being a little bit higher. So think about that as a whole. Next thing is just in your own life, where are you at right now? Is it really a good time for you to buy? Because as a realtor, I'm supposed to tell you, yes, it's always a good time to buy. Real estate's never going to make any more and all this stuff, but that's crap. That's bull crap. What you really need to think about is where you're at in your own life right now. So let's just say, for example, are you thinking about getting married? Are you thinking about having kids? Are you thinking about changing jobs? If you're going to do any of that in the next 6 months, year, 2 years, You might not want to buy a house right now. You might want to keep renting or living with your parents and save up money. Why, you might ask? Because all those things are major factors in your life. Why, yes, I think that real estate is a great investment. Let's just make sure that you're making a good investment for the time frame that you're in. So yeah, you could go buy a property and have a fixer-upper and never finish it because you got to go ahead and move. Or your wife says, hey, we're going to go have this baby. I need a bigger house. Let's go ahead and move. So now you spend all this money and then you're stuck with a property that you really don't want to be in. You just want to get it because you want to be a homeowner. Don't go down that route. Don't do what everybody else does. Go talk to a good realtor and see, hey, what can I qualify for? What's the market doing? What's the rental rate if I decided I wanted to keep this property? So that takes me to my next step of, what is your plan to do with this property? Is it going to be a flip house? Is it going to be a secondary home? Is it going to be your final home? All those things make a big difference. Like for me, for example, if I'm going to go buy my final home, you're taking me out in a pine box, I want to go buy that property whenever I find it. So if I found my dream home, I'm ready to jump on it right now, go ahead and buy it. And then if interest rates changes, I'm gonna go ahead and refinance whenever that occurs. Or if I can't quite afford to go with the conventional loan where I don't have PMI, well then I'm going to do an FHA loan on this property, and then whenever I can take off the PMI, I'll go ahead and refinance. So those are some good things for you to think about if real estate is for you right now in this moment. If you got any more questions, want to talk to one of our agents right here, just give us a shout, shoot us a DM, and we'll be glad to answer anything you got. In the meantime, hit the like and subscribe button. If there's any videos you want to see, let us know.